بسم الله بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Assalamu alaikum to everyone who is joining me. I don't do a lot of live sessions, but I'm trying to do more in the near future, inshallah. A lot of the topics that I talk about, whether it be on my YouTube or on my social media, I find that people usually have like follow-up questions and clarification, and some people want to present their point of view. So I figured a live discussion would be great because we could basically get these questions out. If you want some clarification on a topic, you can post your questions live in the chat here. You can just say whatever you want, and I can see it, and we can respond to it, and I can address these issues in real time, inshallah. So I figured this is a good topic to start with because this is a question that I've gotten quite a lot. People have said to me, they said, "Look, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on, let's see, what else? Twitter, Tumblr, even. You're on most social media sites. How come you're not on TikTok?" And recently, someone even said to me, "Can I post your stuff on TikTok?" And wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah to Saad Siddiqi. Beautiful name, alhamdulillah, and Wa'il. Jazakumullah khair for being here. Yeah, so someone said to me, "Can I post your stuff on TikTok?" And I was really thinking about this, and I was like, I need to really clarify and talk about why I'm not on TikTok. Usually, I'm in what do they call it, an early adopter, right? So even if y'all remember Snapchat, I don't know how many of you are on Snapchat. Let me know in the comments if you are on Snapchat. I am on Snapchat. I just don't really post much on Snapchat. But I got on Snapchat very, very early. I mean, before most people were on Snapchat. I got on Snapchat before companies started getting on Snapchat. And I was like, I'll make my Snapchat public and I can share, short snaps, 10-second snaps. And alhamdulillah, I did quite well. And there's a lot of people who, are on Snapchat and were following me. Some of you may remember that I was doing Ramadan reflections, Taraweeh reflections on Snapchat. So normally I'm a very early adopter. And I see we have someone here who said, I had you on Snapchat from the start. Yeah, alhamdulillah. So normally I'm a very early adopter. I'm on board very quickly. And TikTok, when it happened, and actually, interestingly enough, if you go online, if you go on Twitter, and I don't know how long ago, maybe a couple years ago, I don't know, somebody knows exactly when TikTok started, when it was just, very new. I actually tweeted something and I said, "Yo, what's TikTok? What's going on with TikTok?" And I got a bunch of responses from people on Twitter, telling me like the pros and cons of TikTok or whatever. Overwhelmingly, it was kind of negative, what people were saying about TikTok on my on my Twitter. But anyway, I looked into it very early. And then quite early on, I made the decision not to be on TikTok. And as I said, I still get this question till today. Like, you're on every other social media site here, YouTube. Why are you not on TikTok? And so I'm just going to mention a couple things about why I personally chose not to be on TikTok. First of all, I want to say that this is not one of those like halal or haram issues. So I'm not here to say that it is haram to be on TikTok, because that would honestly apply to any social media platform. It depends on what someone is doing on TikTok. If you're doing haram stuff on TikTok, it's haram. If you're doing halal stuff on TikTok, it's halal. Same thing with YouTube. Same thing with Instagram. Same thing with any other social media site. It really depends on what a person is doing on there. So I'm not here to say that it is haram to be on TikTok. That's not my point here. Really, what I do, and what I think a lot of public speakers and other students of knowledge, and people who want to put good content out there in the world, what they do, from my understanding, and I can say at least for myself, what I do is usually when it comes to these sites, I weigh the harms and benefits. So for me, it's okay. What benefit can come out of this social media site versus what are the harms that come about it? And I think everyone kind of makes their own decision about whether they want to be on that social media platform or not. And so for me, this is really what it goes back to. For me, the harms of it don't outweigh the benefits that could happen, because I get it. And people say like, look, if you are on TikTok, you can just add good stuff. And actually that creates a good alternative for people. So instead of people watching bad stuff on TikTok, they can watch good stuff. So you should put good stuff on TikTok. And I get that. That's a totally fair thing to say. Absolutely. And there are a lot of people who do a lot of good stuff on TikTok. There's no denying that. But for me personally, as I said, it doesn't outweigh the harm that can come about it. Um, so what is the harm, right? And so for me, one of the big differences between TikTok and other social media sites, wa alaikum assalam to Sister Sabrina. So one of the big issues really is the algorithm, right? The algorithm. So what is the problem with the algorithm? Well, the algorithm pretty much dictates what you're going to view on any social media platform, right? It analyzes what you're watching, and it gives you suggestions, and it kind of like steers you in one direction or the other. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with Twitter, same thing with Facebook. You scroll, like we scroll up and we see different things, but it's kind of geared towards, well, the goal really of the algorithm is to get us hooked, is to spend as much time as possible on that social media platform, because the more time we spend on there, obviously the more money they make through advertising and so on and so forth. So that's the goal. By the way, that's the goal of all social media platforms. The problem, however, with TikTok is that it seems to be more dangerous and toxic than other social media platforms, because a lot of times a person can be viewing good stuff on there, but they will quickly end up viewing things that are not so good. So I know I came across one study that was done. Analysis found that, first of all, one of the biggest demographics on TikTok are minors. So not even just young people, but people who are very young, minors. And the TikTok algorithm is so powerful that even minors were driven to content that had things like sex and drugs and things like this, and it steered them towards that. So for me, this is the problem, right? Like I could put good stuff on there, and someone can be watching my stuff, and that's good. But then as they spend more time on there, the algorithm is so powerful that they may very well end up in stuff that is really bad for them. Whether it's just straight up bad stuff, like sex and drugs and intoxicants and things like that, or things that are just bad for their self-esteem, bad for their self-worth, comparing oneself to others, and other things that just makes a person feel bad about themselves. Is bad for their mental health. And obviously we know that even other social media platforms are bad for, it can be very bad, detrimental to especially young people's mental health. But TikTok seems to be the worst of them, right? And because the algorithm is so very, very powerful. And I have a couple times, I've been with some friends and they're like, why aren't you on TikTok? I'm like, "Khalas, show me TikTok." And someone even recently, this panel, a friend of mine said, you're not on TikTok, but you're actually on TikTok. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And they said, people are posting your stuff on TikTok. And I was like, well, I didn't know that. He said, here, look, this is your video someone posted on TikTok. And I said, okay, show me. And I looked at it. And then the next video started automatically. And the next video started automatically. And then it started going to like other videos. And I'm like, wait. Like, stop this. And they're like, yeah, you can turn it off, but it's just going to keep playing other stuff. And I'm like, wow, even my video can lead to something else. And because that is so powerful, I made the decision to not post stuff on TikTok. And look, I get it, right? Like, I totally get it. Some people say, people are going to be on there anyway, right? You're not stopping people from being on there. Then why not just give them a good alternative? Once again, it's not about the alternative. It's about me. If I were to officially get on TikTok, right? And this is the difference here. There's a difference when somebody takes my video and they post it on TikTok, even though I'm not for that, right? So if you ask my permission, I want to be like, no, don't post my video on TikTok. But if somebody does it, they does it, whatever. Like, I'm not going to go after them or anything like that. But there's a difference between that, and then there's a difference between me officially being on TikTok. Because when I go on TikTok, if I were to go on TikTok and say, here's my TikTok account, without a doubt, I'll be bringing people to TikTok with me. Same thing happened with Snapchat, by the way. When I got on Snapchat, a bunch of people got on Snapchat because I was on Snapchat because they wanted to see my Snapchat content. Happens with all social media sites and platforms. And that's one of the harms, right? So as I talked about earlier, weighing the harms and benefits, that's just something that I have to deal with. But I don't want to. So with TikTok, I don't want to be a person who draws more people who are not already on TikTok. And the people that are already there, I think there is good content on there anyway. If a person really is searching for good content, they'll get it. I just don't want to be part of the problem. And so that's the big reason. And there's other reasons as well, but that's the big reason why I personally I'm not on TikTok. So yeah, but I want to know how you feel about it as well. I know a couple people said something. Let me go ahead and read the comments here. What it said: I'm not a fan of social media, but TikTok specifically is out of the user's control because 50% of its content depends on suggested and trending videos. Yeah, so things like that. Subhanallah, that is, so being a part of that, it's really it's a hard pill for me to swallow. It's difficult for me to justify something like that. And once again, I want to reiterate, I'm not saying it's haram or that, you're a bad Muslim if you're on TikTok. Really, it's not my place to judge, right? Because as I said, it depends on what you're doing on TikTok. If you're doing halal stuff, it's halal. If you're doing haram stuff, it's haram. But it's just a personal choice that I've made for myself. Jazakallah khair Wa'il for sharing that. Dark Shadow said, agreed. I feel Insta is similar if you end up on search, but setting yourself honest parameters and subscribing to set content works. Yeah. So Instagram, I'll tell you what I do on my Instagram. First of all, my public Instagram, I don't follow anyone. Okay. No, that's not true. Actually, follow one account. I follow my clothing line. That's it. So I follow one account. That means I'm only going on Instagram to post. So on a personal level, I'm not going to be looking at stuff on Instagram. On my other Instagram, my private Instagram, which is just for my family, on that I am very careful about who I follow, and even that, if I wanna go look at something, generally I'll go look at a person's page and look over there. So I will try my best, and it's not always possible, but I will try my best to avoid the endless scrolling, right? Where you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling because a lot of times a lot of those images that we see, even on Instagram, they're not people that we subscribe to or people that we follow. It's people that are just suggested to us. So to counter that, if I want to look at something, I'll go click on somebody's profile and look at what they're posting, if there's some benefits or something like that. Or a family member, I'll go look at their profile and see what they posted. That's a better way. So that's how I get around that on Instagram. Sa'ad said, similar to YouTube, where a strong Islamic content presence has now been established. Yeah, exactly. YouTube, someone said, okay, there are several Du'at scholars on there. Perhaps if you join, there can be a shift on tide in Islamic content. Okay, so I get that argument. And then I guess the second part of your comment was similar to YouTube, where a strong Islamic content presence has now been established. I get that. Uh, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable because it would really, I don't know if we have enough people who are willing to be on TikTok in the first place. I know a lot of the younger crowd is willing to be on the TikTok, is willing to be on TikTok. I sound like an uncle. The TikTok, right? Uh, I know a lot of the younger speakers are willing to be on TikTok, and that's fine. But I don't think the younger speakers are enough because, to me, even on YouTube, right? I'm not here to really bash YouTube or talk about the problems of YouTube. But one of the problems of YouTube is that there are many speakers on YouTube who are actually just not qualified, right? They're not scholars. They're not even students of knowledge. They are not even people who have studied properly anywhere, but they're popular on YouTube. And that is really a problematic situation, that we now live in a society where we think anyone who is popular is automatically trustworthy, or they're automatically credible, or they're automatically qualified, which is not the case. And that's something that YouTube has definitely contributed to. There are people who have like a huge number of subscribers on YouTube, and they really, in terms of their Islamic credentials, in terms of their Islamic knowledge, they have no credentials. But people take them as sources of knowledge, and that is problematic. So if we had like real deal scholars that are getting on TikTok, and like I could help with that, then I would. But I don't know if we're there yet. Allahu Alam. I don't know. Perhaps I can revisit this. We can revisit this issue in a year or so, and we have like some proper people of knowledge who are getting on TikTok. That would be great. A lot of times people send me videos of TikTok influencers, and I don't want to generalize here, right? I don't want to say everybody, But the few people that I have come across on TikTok, people that have been sent to me, like, here, check out this person. This is what they're saying. And I'm like, who is this? It's a TikTok influencer. Well, when you look at the TikTok influencer, they really have no qualification, right? In the deen, they have no qualification. They are not qualified. They haven't studied anywhere. They haven't studied with any credible scholars. They haven't studied at any credible institution where their knowledge you could say, is credible. A lot of times it's just people who have self-studied, or people who have, just looked up things online. And that's why I always cringe when I hear someone say, well, in my opinion, such and such thing is halal, or in my opinion. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but who are you, right? You can say, in my opinion, if you're a scholar, even a student of knowledge, right? Even somebody who studied properly, okay, you say my opinion, we can say, okay, khalas, they're basing their opinion upon knowledge, upon evidence. But if it's just somebody who just looked up stuff on their own, came to their conclusion, I mean, I don't want to contribute to people taking knowledge from those who are not qualified. May Allah protect us. Okay, Pooja said, Insta is also time wasting. Sometimes you find something informative and useful, but you end up checking other things and waste your time, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that's why I think even on Instagram, we should be careful, right? Number one, who we follow on Instagram. And number two, how much time we're spending on Instagram. And then really like taking a look at, well, the time that I'm spending on Instagram, like, am I looking at stuff that is actually beneficial or stuff that is actually harmful? There's stuff, like, don't get me wrong, there's stuff on Instagram and other social media sites that isn't beneficial, but at the same time, it's not harmful. It's like neutral stuff. And I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest. If you're looking at neutral things, then that's okay, right? At least you're not doing something which is haram. And, Allah has created us with, the need to be entertained and to have fun. And so if someone's looking at something which isn't haram, is just like neutral, something which is allowed, then that's fine, as long as it's not going overboard. But we do need to be careful, even with Insta. And like I said, it's not just TikTok, but TikTok seems to be probably the most severe in this matter. But yeah, and Sister Sabrina said TikTok is toxic. Like I said, I'm not personally on TikTok, and I don't plan on being on TikTok if anything else, unless anything else changes. And I was hoping we'd have somebody here today who would try to convince me otherwise. I want to hear some arguments on the opposing side, but I don't know if we have that many people. But alhamdulillah. So that's it. And I want to do more of these live sessions because I like hearing from you, and I like having these discussions online. I think a lot of my social media does tend to be one-sided. I don't really get into comments and respond to comments. And I'm going to address that in another live session, inshallah, why I don't respond to comments online. There's a very specific reason for that. I'm going to get into that. Sister Mastura says, what would your thoughts be on the idea of posting content on TikTok that isn't related to Islam? For example, to advertise your clothing line. Okay, if by your clothing line you mean my clothing line, I personally wouldn't do it for the same reason as I'm not posting Islamic content on TikTok. As for other people advertising, Allahu alam. I don't know. And as I said, for me, this is not a halal haram issue. This is an issue of weighing the harms and benefits. And we have to really think about the impact that we're having. And this is something that I hope we can all just, personally really think about. So I personally, I don't advertise my clothing line on TikTok. I didn't even consider it until now. SubhanAllah, it's very interesting. I never even thought about doing that. Perhaps it would be, a good way to advertise, but I don't. Once again, the same reason that I wouldn't post Islamic content on there is the same reason why I wouldn't advertise my clothing line on there. Wallahu alam. Yeah. Opposing argument. People are leaving Islam. A small reminder can be iman changing. Absolutely. And look, like I said, I'm not here to say there's no good that can come out of TikTok. And that's not my point here. I think one of the problems here, and I think one of the problems that we're dealing with today is people tend to look at everything black and white, right? Just good or bad. People tend to look at things in absolutes, meaning something is either just completely good or completely bad, good, evil. And, life is not that clear cut a lot of times. These issues are not clear cut issues. These are issues where, it's a spectrum between good and bad. And oftentimes we take these very harsh stances towards a lot of these matters where I get being harsh and being absolute on a personal level, right? So even for me personally, I think I'm harsh. I am staunch, but that's for myself personally being on TikTok. I wouldn't go to other people and say, hey, it's haram for you to be on TikTok because of all these problems. Once again, that's taking a very staunch approach on this issue when there is the other side of, yeah, there may be people who may be benefiting from TikTok, right? There may be people who are listening to these quick reminders and their benefit. It's not really for me to say what reminder is beneficial. And I've actually started, those of you who are following me on YouTube and even on Instagram, I've started doing these 1 minute reminders, right? Because I know like attention span these days is, it's our attention span is just so small now. SubhanAllah. But the YouTube Shorts, right? And I'm doing that for the very reason that, look, sometimes people just want to watch something really quick. It's under 60 seconds, and it perhaps it could be a reminder that actually helps them. And even for me, for myself, always uh, giving reminders to others is always a reminder for myself as well, and I personally benefit from. That's why I do those reminders. But yeah, jazakallah khair, jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So thank you so much for everyone who joined me today. Like I said, I do want to do more of these, and hopefully I can do. If you enjoyed it, let me know. And if you want to see more of these, let me know as well. And if you want to see more of these, share this with others. I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel. Hopefully, there's a recording of this, and I can post it, and other people can benefit from it as well from these live sessions. But definitely share it with others, inshallah ta'ala. And I do want to do more. I think my next live session is going to be why I don't respond to comments online. And like I said, I do have a very specific reason, and why I don't do DMs, right? I don't do DMs on any of my social media platform. But yeah, so we'll discuss that inshallah in the next live session. I don't know when, maybe next Sunday. I'm not decided on a time yet. If you have a time that you think works best for you, maybe suggest it in the comments after this video gets posted. I'm gonna go back and as I said, I'm gonna post this live session on my YouTube channel, so check it out as well. Once again, jazakumullahu khairah to everyone. Same time, I'm going to try for the same time, but I want to see what time works best for people. Abdul Rashid said he's from India. So India, I know it's quite late here in India right now. So whatever time, works best for you, we'll try to work for that. For me, it's 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. But I know I have people who listen to me from the subcontinent, India, Pakistan, and people all the way in, Malaysia, Indonesia, UK. As you know, we have travel lover, alhamdulillah, here from the UK. Obviously, people in North America as well. So whatever time can work best. Lebanon, we have Wa'il from Lebanon, mashallah, attending from Lebanon as well. That's beautiful, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. Good to have all of you here. We'll work out a time and we'll do this again, inshallah. This was fun for me. I enjoyed it, and hopefully some benefit came out of it as well. And jazakumullah khairah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.